Hey, what's going on, team? Welcome to today's daily walk outdoors edition. Yeah, celebrating the nice weather. So, a good point to remember is people would say, well, what sank the Titanic? And what would be the obvious answer would be water. Water sank the Titanic. But here's what I would say. I'd beg to differ, because the Titanic, we are surrounded by billions of gallons of water. The Titanic, it's not water that sank it. It was what the Titanic let on the inside. Now, in that case, it was water. They could have let too much lead on the inside. They could have allowed too many people on the inside. There could have been any number of things that were allowed or forced to come on the inside that would have sank that ship. So that's the lesson. That's the first lesson that we learned from the Titanic is right now. What are we letting inside? There's a lot out there. There's a lot of positive things. There's a lot of negative things. There's a lot of fake news. There's just a lot of everything out there. What are we allowing to let in? Now, in the case like the Titanic, they really didn't have a choice, so to speak. They had to allow water in. So a lot of us, we might have the same thing. You might want to know what's going on in the world, so you flip the news on and you're letting in that negativity out of a good reason to, or you're talking to friends or family members who are really, really distraught, or you're opening up social media and you're exposed to maybe some negative things. So what do we need to do? We need to then bail out. So the first thing we learned from the Titanic is we got to be very careful what we're letting in right now. The second thing is when when things are let in that we don't want there, we have to bail out. So we have to take peace and calm throughout the day to bail out. There was, I tell this story frequently, there was a person who was just really a negative source of energy in my life. And I knew that whenever I would talk to this person, majority of the time, I would absorb negativity because we're sponges. We don't necessarily get the choice. So what I had to do is I had to bail beforehand. I listened to positive, uplifting podcasts, and then I had to bail water afterward. Okay? So make sure that we're learning that lesson and taking some peace and calm nowadays to bail out. And then the third thing that we learned from the Titanic is they don't build ships like that anymore. I mean, when they first built that ship, they were like, oh, this is the best. There's no reason to improve it. It is the best. It's unsinkable. Well, now we build ships differently. So now what can we look at? We can look at our past. We can look at our present and say, you know what? How can I improve this ship so I don't have to do as much bailing? Bailing is a part of life. You're always going to have to bail out some negativity, but how can I build the ship that is strong enough to not let that negativity in? Or when I do have to bail in, how can I automate the bailing process? So it's just kind of done automatically. So now is a great time to be producing and forming new habits, things in your subconscious that are going to help you have the best ship moving forward humanly possible. So some good ways to do that, to improve your ship right now, is to start forming new habits. Start getting around like-minded, goal-driven, positive, uplifting special helpers, people that push you. Start listening to podcasts. There's tons of positivity going on there. Start thinking, well, wow, what about a plan B? I'm going to start working on a plan B. So there's a lot of ways that we can rebuild our ships stronger than ever right now. So you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoy your walk through this amazing life.